time. Raw, September 12th, 2011, go. Alright guys, it's Raw, September 12th, 2011. And you would think that I would be happy about this particular Raw. It's the go-home show tonight of Champions, 2011. On top of that, it's in my home country of Ottawa, Canada. But you would be very wrong indeed. This show actually has one of the two unforgivable sins of any wrestling show. It's boring. Painfully boring. Alright, so I guess we want to start. Yeah, look at my notes here. Okay, so Alberto Del Rio, the WWE champion, comes out to the ring. Basically, he's saying that he's not getting any respect. He retired Edge. He thinks he's retired Rey Mysterio. He beat CM Punk for the Undisputed title at SummerSlam. Anyway, and then, of all people, Bret Hart comes out. Basically, he says Del Rio's a flash in the pan, and he's not being a proper champion or any of that jazz. I feel so bad for Bret Hart. He's stumbling over his words. He just seems so lost. Cena comes out, of course, to save Bret Hart, and they boo the crap out of Cena when he comes out. And more or less, they're saying that Bret Hart should challenge Del Rio for the WWE Championship right here live tonight. Before that can happen, John Laurinaitis comes out. Oh man, we're going down the tubes fast. John Laurinaitis comes out, and what does he do? He says that what the fans really want to see is a tag match with Bret Hart, John Cena, and Del Rio and his partner, Ricardo Rodriguez, his personal ring announcer. I'm not even gonna, I'll save it for when we get to it. After that, we have a tag match with Alex Riley and John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Basically, they've got a match going on. The match isn't bad, and the problem with this match is that it's only 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. It's short. I mean, with guys this talented, you would think they'd get more time. The match ends when Riley hits his finisher of the week, a TKO a la Mark Merrow from 1998 on Swagger and wins. Ziggler has the chance to break up the pin, but doesn't because he thinks that Swagger's a loser, and the whole storyline is based on Jack Swagger wanting to be in the stable of Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler, and Ziggler doesn't want him there. So yeah, that happens. Oh, and backstage, The Miz and R-Truth are talking, and basically, they go back and forth, and R-Truth says, "Ninja, please." And the Miz says, "What did you just say?" And the Truth says, "I said Ninja Waza, please." That actually was kind of funny. I have to. R-Truth continues to amaze me. It's actually entertaining me, and I enjoy seeing R-Truth on Raw lately. A heel turn was just what he needed to revitalize his career. I'll tell you one other thing. They come down to the ring with no music, and R-Truth says that Triple H is the COO, or Co. If you add another COO, you get Coco, or Cuckoo. So that's the idea. Triple H is Cuckoo. That was kind of funny, too. And basically, they trade each other's lines. The Miz says, "And that's the truth." And R-Truth says, "And it's awesome." I will admit that these two guys are entertaining. I look forward to seeing them every week. They are the one shining ray on this show, with a rant coming later. Anyway, The match is Kofi Kingston and The Miz. The match is okay, it's back and forth, and R-Truth. The Miz beats Kofi Kingston with a skull-crushing finale. It was okay, I mean, the match was fine, but not great, which I think is the point because they're going to have a tag match at the pay-per-view. I imagine on Super SmackDown, they're going to have Evan Bourne and R-Truth, which is the other part of the tag team. Oh, and Teddy Long, who has no power on Raw, by the way, comes out and says that, tells Vicky Guerrero that there's going to be a fatal four-way match for the U.S. title. Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, Alex Riley, and, God, I can't even remember who the fourth person is. Gives you an idea of how important it is. I didn't write it down. Anyway, they showed a clip last week of Jerry Lawler and Zack Ryder, woo woo woo, you know it, beating Utunga and McGillicuddy. So they're having a rematch this week, apparently, because, you know, getting beaten by an internet celebrity and a 61-year-old man wasn't humiliating enough. Basically, before the match, Utunga and McGillicuddy are making fun of Lawler. McGillicuddy saying, "Don't you remember who my father is?" in wrestling. His father was the late, great Mr. Perfect, which makes no sense, because why would he be Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig and his son be McGillicuddy? Anyway, Utunga says that he was a Harvard graduate lawyer, which begs the question as to why he would be a wrestler when he could be a lawyer. Anyway, Lawler's big joke to this is that he failed charisma class, which isn't funny. Oh, I should point out that I am really getting sick of Michael Cole on the announce team. He is actually sucking the fun, what little fun there is to be had, out of these shows. He keeps arguing with everyone who's talking. He keeps being too over the top and too over-energetic during every single segment of the show. He never shuts up and just lets things happen. The problem I have with this is, I think what they're going for is Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan used to be very over-the-top and very energetic and very silly, but he could be entertaining. He was funny. He could bring light to the moment. It just worked. It's not working with Michael Cole. Anyway, the mystery partner is Sheamus, who I'm a huge fan of, who kills them both dead, bro kicks, and razor's edges in 2 minutes. So I don't, unless the whole point of this story is to just bury them every week, I don't get it. Like, Jerry Lawler is saying that they don't have any charisma, and then they go out there and prove they can't wrestle either, so why do they have jobs? Anyway, backstage, Ricardo Rodriguez drinks an aphrodisiac, which is supposed to help him for his match. Yeah. Anyway, after that is Bret Hart and John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez. Okay, here comes the rant. I, at one time, was one of the biggest Bret Hart fans that there ever was, or ever will be, to borrow a phrase. But Bret Hart can't wrestle anymore. He just can't. He is in his 50s, probably mid to late 50s. He had a stroke. He got a major career-ending injury from Goldberg 11 years ago from being kicked in the head. Why do they keep insisting on putting him in the ring? He can't wrestle. He just can't. And yet they keep, like, he was in the main event of SummerSlam last year in 2010. He was in the 7-man tag. You know what he did? He tagged in, punched a guy a couple of times, and then hit that guy with a chair to disqualify him and take him out. Because he can't do anything. He can't take bumps. He can't, like, if anyone clotheslines him, they'll kill him. So I don't know why they do that. And apparently I'm getting wrestling guy texts. Anyway, I just don't understand the point of this. Why would you do this? I know it's Canada, like, I get that. I'm a Canadian. I am a fan of Bret Hart, but I am not a fan of whatever that is that gets into the ring now. Just stay home. If you ever read Bret Hart's book, he said you would never see him wrestle old. Well, it's good to know that he only meant to keep that promise for a year until someone showed interest in him. Rant over anyway. Oh, now after this they show the 9/11 attacks and how SmackDown was the first public gathering of any kind after the 9/11 attack. I'm not getting into this. this is a slap in the face, this whole thing. You can only say that you're doing this for the country and for the fans, and like the whole Tribute to the Troops show that they do, and now this 9/11 thing, which I've now seen twice. It's also on the top 50 SmackDown moments. You can only say you're doing it for the fans, and you're not doing it for yourself for so long, until you don't believe them. I don't believe Vince McMahon or the WWE when they say that they're doing this for the fans. They're doing it for the troops. They're doing it for the country. You know what I think? I think they're doing it for themselves. So that everyone thinks that they are the ones who saved America and Canada and the rest of the free world. And just so that people don't get the wrong impression, yes, the 9/11 attacks were horrific. They were horrible. That was one of the most disturbing, disgusting, pitiful things I've ever seen done to a country ever, and I mourn the loss of everyone who was affected by that tragedy. But I don't believe for one second that the WWF at that time thought to themselves, this is something that we can do for the country. What I think they thought was, this is a way that we can make some money off of a new tragedy, like they did during the Gulf War. That's my issue. Anyway, after that we have champion versus champion. Randy Orton, the World Heavyweight Champion, versus Cody Rhodes, the Intercontinental Champion. They had a match on SmackDown last week that Cody Rhodes lost in very, very quick time. In this match, Henry comes down and distracts Orton so that Cody Rhodes can hit him with his mask and then hit the crossroads. So now they're at one match apiece. I would expect they have another match on Friday where Orton beats him again so that the feud is over. Match was fine, and it was nice to see Cody Rhodes get a win. I wish they would do more with this character. I really do wish that like the momentum that he had been making goes forward. Like that whole paper bag thing that he does, I think that's hilarious. The way that the fans willingly put that stuff on is hilarious. Anyway, the problem now is that he's made all this momentum as the champion, and then he doesn't. I think he's the only champion who doesn't have a match set for Night of Champions. I mean, I'm sure he's going to wrestle because he's got a belt, but no one knows against who. Shows you how much the Intercontinental title means. Mark Henry hits Randy Orton with a chair post-match and basically poses and blah, blah, blah. And then we have this. We have the encounter between Punk and Triple H for the pay-per-view on Sunday. CM Punk says that he's being held down because the WWE has and always has had a bodybuilding fetish. Guys who are 6'6" and 260 pounds or more are given an easier run in wrestling than those that aren't. And Triple H says to me that, well, me and everyone else, that Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley are examples of people who don't fit the bodybuilding mold who still became champion. To which I would say Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Sid, let's see, John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle even. Because you can name two people who weren't the bodybuilding mold, you can't sit there and suggest or even dream that people who are under 6 feet tall and under 250 pounds are all of a sudden going to be given a fair shake. That's not how it works. Vince McMahon has always had a bodybuilding fetish. How about the failed Lex Express run? You remember that? Where they were determined to make him the main eventer even though fans weren't having it. But he's a bodybuilder, so you might as well. Basically, it's an argument about back and forth about how Triple H says it's about the fans and says, you know, the WWE worries about what the fans want, which is total bullshit if you've ever followed this company for any length of time. But anyway. Basically, CM Punk says, the fans are cheering for me right now, so shouldn't the show be about me? And Triple H retorts, well, where have those fans been for the last 6 years? You know, more or less, the only point that Triple H made that I actually agreed with was when he said that CM Punk is a former 3-time world champion and the only 2-time winner of the Money in the Bank briefcase. So it's not as if he wasn't given a chance to shine, which I agree with. The only problem was the second he was given a chance to shine, they cut the legs out from under him and sent him crashing back to the mid-card because he wasn't 6'6" and he wasn't a bodybuilder. At the end, CM Punk says this isn't Triple H talking to CM Punk, it's Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque. He's about to say something really, I'm assuming, intense, and then the mic cuts out. But then it comes on for Triple H. and then Triple H hands it to CM Punk, and then it goes out again. Triple H acts like he doesn't know what's going on, and he gets a third mic, and CM Punk clubs him in the face with it and leaves. And that's the show. You know, I really get the feeling that all of this wasn't really leading anywhere. I mean, it's supposed to be building for the show, and the pay-per-view is on Sunday, so we'll have to see. But I have to say that, all in all, I am not impressed with this part of this Raw lead-in to the pay-per-view. Not impressed at all. Besides, if CM Punk really wanted to piss Triple H off, he would have just said this.
You are what you hate. You have become the New York Yankees.